What's up, y'all? It's Lone Wolf. Welcome to season 2. So, kick this off today. I'm actually cooking in the kitchen tonight. So, the first video I've done, I'm out in the Jeep. So, have some Sterling Cabernet tonight. So, we take this red wine as communion, as a representation of the blood of Jesus Christ. Amen. So today, got a couple things to talk about. But first off, I'm throwing down my chowder here. Using canned clams because, well, I ain't feeling like making fresh clams. I'm just making something that I can eat throughout the week. So I want to talk about a couple things today. So this isn't specifically towards one thing, but this is just a kind of a talk to kick off season 2. Okay, there's going to be a lot of stuff about my dating book and Footprints 2. Okay, today's going to be a little bit about both of them. Okay, so first off, I wanted to talk about Betrayal on something, okay? So if you followed season 1 and you've read the book, you kind of understand where I'm at with it, okay? But something I wanted to talk about was kind of towards my automotive business. So those of you that follow me probably follow my automotive business, my page, my how-tos. If you don't, well, like and subscribe them. So what I've noticed in this town that I'm in, okay, I've had a lot of people call me that have told me that mechanics have been showing up and have been screwing off, have been screwing people over, taking half cash up front and dipping on them on jobs, okay, where they've just been dipping out, like they're just like, they take the money and run, or diagnostic fees, this and that. And so something happened in my town where people were betraying customers on their own terms in their own business, and there was people that came and go, where they would post up ads, and then spent like hundreds of dollars on ads, and they must have clipped somebody for about $1,000 and left. So they tactfully rob people of money, okay? I'm going to show you something. I am the only person in my town that is doing automotive services, okay? And this is mobile. Of course there's shops, of course there's people probably out there running it. But I mean, there was even a company called something mobile that appeared as though it was a big company, and it turned out that they've been screwing people, okay? I'm going to actually hold this right up here. So I'm cooking right now. So they were screwing people for fees where they would schedule, where they would say, hey, $100 and we'll schedule you for a diagnostic, and they would not show up. This is per customers that I talked to that I fixed their cars for a good price, okay? I didn't screw them. A lot of people ended up going to the shop, so I lost a lot of business in it too, but I'm not that type of dude. I'll show up, $40, I'll diagnose it. Let's get you penciled in, buy your own parts, and then I'll give you a good labor fee. So I straight shake people, okay? And I build a customer base that way. So a lot of people in this town, they don't do that. So they'll post up for 1 or 2 jobs, show up with their dinky bag, diagnose it or half-ass diagnose it, and they'll turn around and they'll walk away. And they'll walk away with $100, $200, however much they charge for diagnostic. Sometimes it's $500 for an alternator job. I don't play that game, okay? So I reverse engineer it where I do right by my people, okay? You're not going to see that. But it's been about a month ago, I saw a dude in there that posted up 10 ads. I mean it had to be more than that, but it was like 14, 15 ads, $5 a piece. That's quite a bit, and so he was scooping people for diagnostics, and somebody came down on him. And I heard this from a customer that I don't remember the name of the dude. I probably wouldn't spit it out there anyway, just using it as an example, okay? But he ended up screwing him for a diagnostic fee, and did probably like a head gasket, I think it was, or a timing belt, I can't remember, but screwed him for it and dipped with the cash and the parts and took off, dog. Like, he took off. And so these people were pissed, had to take it to the shop, had to do all this. They were really mad, okay? And so it made me look good, but it made me look bad, because these were people that didn't go with me. They went with the competitors. I'm the only person on there, and there was probably like 7 or 8 mechanics throughout the summer that were on there, and they dipped, okay? So something happened, from what I can tell, that a lot of people got screwed over in my town. So these people got betrayed. And what happened, okay? On my end of the spectrum, I saw it like these people are gonna, these mechanics are gonna make a bad name for themselves. So that face to name, like, and they could be using fake names. They could be out there doing that type of thing. So it's like, well, okay, But, if that person shows up again, like, no, they ain't going to play, And so I'm assuming that these people are running under like some fake names. They've probably got some, beater Honda, and they show up. And that's not a bad thing that you got a beater Honda and you show up with a bag, because, as long as you're reinvesting. I started out in a Volkswagen. And after about 3 or 4 jobs, I picked up, a Jeep, and I started moving toolboxes this. I reinvested everything I had into it. I was door dashing for tools, like really being serious about it, okay? So, which by the way, I'm making a complete roux for this soup, so this is gonna turn out really good, okay? I'm making my veggies separate, throwing my clams in last. So, what I wanted to talk to y'all about was the betrayal side of it, okay? So these people that ended up trusting these mechanics, they're not gonna be able to trust anybody anymore, okay? So I'm gonna have a hard time, you know, getting customers as well, because these people ran through. But what people have also seen is my consistency. I was the one dude that didn't take their ads down and run. A lot of these people, they took their ads down and they dipped, okay? And I don't know exactly why. I think it was probably this and that. I have Yelp, I have this and that. So like I got website, I have everything set up. So like I'm not just some dude that's like working for one job to like turn and burn and screw somebody, and I don't know what I'm doing and I'm a scam artist. So it ain't like that, okay? People know that about me in this town. Word of mouth is one thing, okay? So if you're doing mobile mechanic, word of mouth is a big deal, okay? This is aside from it. This is more on the betrayal side of it. I've been betrayed as well. So what happened? So me being betrayed as well, what happened for me, okay? It opened up the entire market for me, that anybody that goes for a mobile service like that, I'm the only dude up there, not only with my posts, but these are a month ago, 22 days ago, 12 days ago. I really haven't been posting anything, okay? I didn't post anything. It's thunderstorms and raining outside. That's why I'm making chowder right now. I'm just chilling right now. I just got done with a transmission job and a timing and head gasket job on a Volkswagen. And right now I'm like, I'm posted up where I'm just like waiting for work. Yeah, my ads are up there from a month ago. I'm up on top, and I wasn't used to that because everybody was posting up over me, and I had to be patient, okay? I had to be patient because everybody was pushing me down the list, okay? I didn't know that these people were going to go do this, but they did it, okay? And this is people that picked me up for a water pump on a BMW that I did recently, where they told me there was 2 mechanics that showed up, $100 for a diagnostic and $200 for the other one, and both of them screwed the woman, took both payouts, and dipped. And I was like, dude, like $40 to look at it. It's a water pump. They're over there saying, you know, your head gasket's blown for one. You have a hole in your radiator for two. And okay, she goes and she buys parts, and they are nowhere to be found. So she sends them back and tries to get another mechanic to go look at it. I showed up. It's a water pump and a thermostat on BMW. I can get that on a 3-liter inline 6. I can get that done in what, maybe 2 hours. So probably $200. It really isn't that big of a deal. And they're over there quoting, it's going to charge you $1,000 to get this done. And it's like, dude, you're like, so basically you're going to say you did the job and then didn't do it and scooped the woman for $1,000, but she caught on, got a second approach, and it's like, things are wild out here. So for me, I saw my full circle of being betrayed by a lot of people, because recently I got skipped on money, okay? I had one dude that almost didn't pay me for a job, and I was like, oh, hold up a second, like, you know, you got to pay me for that, because that took me a while. Like, I was working on that shit for like a while. So I had some issues with that as well, okay? So I was looking at it and I'm like, okay, like there's multiple full circles that can go like this, and this situation helped me understand that there's somebody else can get betrayed and I can get betrayed, and those full circles can interlock where there's a divine judgment that's positive, and regardless of the negative divine judgment on somebody else, okay, it's the positive divine judgment on that person and me where we interlock, and it's like, okay, I made $350 and you know they didn't get screwed in this, and I'm like rising the ranks, like I'm doing good, like all my stuff, I'm buying transmission jacks. I've pretty much bought my entire first fleet worth for my first repair vehicle. I'm already set, like I'm already good. So I'm not looking to hire nobody right now. No, I'm not that high up where I'm like hiring mechanics to go and do stuff. I'm assuming that my deals are going to go far, okay? But I've had to be extremely patient. I've had to be extremely patient with it, okay? And so this is kind of a mix of things, okay? I'm probably not going to go into many verses right now, and well, because I'm cooking. But a lot of it is like I went through that, okay? Now here's something else I want to talk about, okay? So I'm going to try and do as many of these cooking videos as I can, where I just do a little rant and talk about things that I've seen and how things work, okay? Sometimes it's more deep thoughts in the Jeep. I quit smoking cigars, so you're going to notice I quit smoking. So I'm on nicotine tabs now. I don't smoke anymore. And this is my second time quitting in probably like the last like year. And this time I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down for good. I just decided to do it for my own health, Um, and I'm tired of pulling up to a job smelling like freaking Swishers. All right. So we're sitting here thinking about something. Okay. I had something recently that came my way, and this is related to the dating book. Okay. And I'm going to talk about this. And I know a lot of people are going to just be like, I don't really know. Like, a lot of people have different experiences. Okay. There was a girl that I met that I really, really, really liked. Okay. I really liked her, but she was unavailable. Okay, like she had a man. The dude has like 700 kids, and she was with him. Okay, so I don't know. It was really weird. Okay, she had like it's just sometimes you can find like okay. When I was talking about the Book of Ruth, you can be in the Book of Ruth and you can see somebody and be like, that woman is right for me, but maybe God doesn't want me to have her because she's involved in her own situation. Okay, and that goes for females and men. Okay. And with my situation, it's happened to me twice, okay, where I was like, okay, like that person kind of lines up with me, this and this and that, but are they equally yoked, okay? You won't know that, so you may find somebody attractive, but you won't know if they're equally yoked until you actually get to know them, okay? And so I got to know the woman a little bit, okay? I wasn't dating her or nothing like that. I got to know her at a distance, okay? And did I like what I saw? Yeah, I liked what I saw because she seemed like a very loyal woman, very authentic. Like she didn't really like she wasn't as authentic when she was around when her man was around, and I think that was because there was some insecurity issues there in their own relationship that I don't really have anything to say about because it ain't my relationship. But I could see it off the other dude where he was just kind of like walking around like pissed at me, and I'm like, I haven't really done nothing, and neither has she. So there was an insecure factor there where I was like, oh, okay, you gotta chill for a second. Like I acknowledged you and her together like that, so it ain't no big deal. And something I will tell you, okay, and this isn't to like get people's hopes up and do this, okay, but sometimes God will have you meet somebody, and then a year down the road you'll end up with them, okay, and a lot of that is that first meeting was important because you guys actually got to physically and spiritually kind of connect a little bit, and it's not like spiritually connect like I took you on some wild wave adventure out there, you know, we had some crazy, you know, vacation, okay, it's more of you met this person and you had a really good connection, okay? And the connection, the conversation went well. You guys vibe well. And when I'm talking colors, I'm talking like my native roots. Like this woman was a diamond, okay? Like she has diamond energy, sky blue energy, and I'm a red. So we can mash in violet really well. But when she is in yellow, because she's kind of like more of a yellow diamond type of woman, she's in yellow because that dude tries to hold the diamond, and like whenever he's around she's in yellow, so either that or kids or this or that. So when she was with me alone she was in like a diamond energy, which was like really cool. I was like, oh, okay, like I can handle this. It's not like I'm like, oh, the diamond, like chasing her around. I don't play that, okay? So the way I saw it, okay, was like, okay, I really like this woman, which was weird because there was some duality and parallels to that situations that really tripped me out about two women that screwed me in my past, that she kind of looked like both of them but like a hotter version, and I was like, what's going on with that? And then I saw the dude that she was with and the people that those two women cheated on me with, he looked like both of them mashed, and I was like, bruh, like something's weird about this, like this is kind of divine, I should probably pay attention to it here, but I'm like, I'm sitting on the outside, like I ain't gonna push no boundaries, I'm not trying to cause problems. I don't know, maybe they have kids together and there's one or two kids, or all 600 of those kids are hers, I don't know, but from how it was spoken to me, it didn't seem like that way, okay? I gotta turn this down, man, I'm boiling right now. So you have to kind of understand how God works, okay? So you could be in the book of Ruth, okay? And when I talked about this in the last season, I think I posted this, I gotta look over my entire season, but you'll be in the book of Ruth, you'll read the book of Ruth, you'll see what those cornerstones are like in a person, and you'll cross paths with somebody where you see that hedge on them, where they've been reading that book, or they have those qualities to them, and you go, oh, okay, that's somebody that's a potential Ruth. Maybe God wants me to be with that person. Maybe not, and I just met that person. I'm like, well, maybe they're a Proverbs 31 woman. Maybe they believe in God and they have morals, okay? And maybe I don't know them enough, but I saw that divinity cross me, okay? That will happen to you with few people in your life, okay? And if you're in the book of Ruth, you'll start to see people kind of gravitate towards you, where you're like, oh, okay, like, you're Christian. And even if you're not deep in your faith, like, you still have that morale ingrained, even if it wasn't from, like, your upbringing, that you have morale that's of Christian faith in you or from the light. Okay, so you could be like Hindu, or you could be, you know, from Japanese culture, and you have the light in you, so you'll see the light, and that's where you kind of test them a little bit and go, okay, is this person, do they line up with my faith or do they not? And maybe that sometimes that doesn't matter, you're from the light, but for me it like matters. Okay, like I believe in Jesus Christ, and like, okay, if you do, that's cool. If you're from the light, great. Like, you're not doing any darkness to me, not sowing any darkness on me. So even if you're from another culture and this and that, and you're from the light, I love it, okay? But I may not see you as a potential mate because I want somebody that lines up with my faith. So it's kind of like that, okay? So I kind of saw it like that. The woman that I met, I was like, geez, man, like, you are like, had me like stars in my eyes, like, whoa. But I was like, okay, like, down to earth for a second, you know what I mean? Like, this woman, like, she has a whole nother life. So you have to understand, like, when you're crossing paths with a partner like that, you gotta understand, like, you can't just be walking around like love struck, like, you know, Frankenstein attracted to a magnet. You can't be like that, okay? You have to understand, like, even if you're with somebody or not, like, I know you, I saw your soul, that maybe God had me cross your path to maybe God used me to bless you or bless each other, or just to see each other, and then whew, like, and then you could see like a year later that person like is pretty much single, and you're still single, you've been working on yourself, they've been working on themselves, and everything works out, start dating, and things like just hit it off, and you've got yourself a long-term partner, okay? And this is for people that seek long-term relationships. So if you're out there, you know, messing around and sleeping with people, okay, like, I ain't gonna say nothing about that. That's your choice, that's your life to live. Is it foolish or wise? Well, that's for you to decide, okay? Read the Bible, figure that out. If it's foolish, well, then you probably shouldn't be being fools. But I mean, hey, everybody's a fool and wise to some extent. I'm gonna pour some more wine here, which this is almost done. This is gonna be a really good chowder. So when you're looking at the situation, okay, with other people, how they operate, okay, you'll notice that when you're in the book of Ruth, God will bring you a lot of people from the opposite gender that are more in tune with your faith. You're not going to be, you know, seeing all these dark women coming around you that are this and that, unless you're really hanging out with them, and that's like, dog, you got to figure it out. You know, what do you really want? Are you some dude that's in the book of Ruth trying to justify somebody that has the Jezebel spirit as a woman that, you see what I mean? Like, you're trying to justify what your fleshly, you're trying to justify what your flesh desires, when that's not really the case. What you should be doing, you should be looking at people's spirits, okay? You should be looking at people's spirits and not, you should be looking at people's spirits and not like looking at her and like, oh, she got pretty eyes and she's got a perfect body and she's got, like, you're looking at physical qualities like that, like, you're approaching it wrong, okay? And I'm not gonna say that this woman didn't have nice physical qualities, because she was gorgeous, okay? She was very pretty, and it seemed like she had a very good head on her. She was very kind, sweet, caring. She didn't really flip yellow on me until that dude was around, and I was like, okay, that's probably a natural thing, because he doesn't want her to be in a diamond energy with me. He'd rather hold that and just keep that at bay, okay? And it's like, people that do that, sometimes it's just natural. You'll see that some people just don't like you because maybe there's like an obvious mutual attraction between you two. But there's respect between it, where you're like, oh, okay, person may not like you or favor you, at least they may treat you good. This dude didn't say a word to me. He just walked around like his eyes were like pinned out and pissed off. Maybe he was on drugs. I don't know what was going on. I was like, man, you tripping. So it really wasn't my deal, okay? But what I did notice was, in my walk, I've had several people who have come my way when I figured out the book of Ruth. Before, when I didn't read the book of Ruth, and even when I did Footprints too, I didn't really meet anybody that was from, I met people from the light, but not of the opposite gender, that were of Ruth characteristics. And what does that mean, okay? What does Ruth characteristics mean? Well, read the story and try and figure out and write down what you think those characteristics of that woman are based upon how that story played out, okay? There was loyalty there. And there was not only loyalty to her family, but there was loyalty to Naomi, and there was loyalty to God, okay? So her faith was very strong, and so was Boaz, okay? And this is something I also wanted to say, is like, if you're looking at yourself and you're like, oh, okay, like, I want to be a Boaz, okay? No one ever said that you can't be a Boaz and made mistakes in your life, okay? So you're not expected to be this perfect, upstanding guy that's had a past full of upstanding choices and this and that. You may have really screwed up in your life, okay? and done some stupid stuff, okay, like some foolish things. And you turn around and you read the Bible, and you really focus on your faith, and you realize it's like, okay, I've got this past that I have to deal with. But nobody really knew what Boaz's past was. I'm not saying Boaz had a bad past, nothing like that, but I'm just saying you can still have the qualities of Boaz, but you have to, there's a transformation process you have to go through. And I think everybody has to go through that before they get married, or things will completely tank, okay? I went to a wedding recently, and this was something that I actually realized that was really weird, okay? If there is a curse at a wedding, okay, and that could be like that somebody slept with the groom. So say one of the wives to be bridesmaids slept with the groom. I noticed something weird. I've been to a lot of weddings where you will see a healthy wedding that is straight across. You will see these two people conjoin into like one spirit, but they're two people, and they have this like two beams of light, but they just come together right there, and you're like, what just happened, dude? Like, once you're spiritually awake, you will see it and go, dude, this is weird. I went to a wedding recently, okay, and this is an old friend of friend. I was invited because honestly I wanted to cook and bring something, so I didn't really even know anybody there. I was just like, dog, I showed up with food, like, let's get this, okay? And I saw through my eye that there was something where they got married, but they didn't really conjoin spirit. It was almost like I could see that the groom's best man slept with the wife, and I was like, oh, dude, like you could see it on his face, and you could kind of see it on like everybody's face, like everybody kind of knew. And it was like the groom to be has no idea, and I was like, this isn't good. And like you saw that play out, and then things were just really bad, and I was like, oh, dude, like that's not good, okay, like it's not good. So I saw it, but I didn't know for sure. You almost like you spiritually see it. It was a very weird thing for me. But something else about weddings I noticed, okay, is you'll go to a wedding and you will see, like, how do I say this? You can almost see the next two people that are going to get married that are there. That was the weirdest thing I ever saw, okay? And I saw this. I gotta dump some of this out real quick. I saw this while I was there, okay? And it was really weird because I saw this woman, and she was with a man, and this other man that was with another woman, and they were sitting across from each other, and they both had these beams of light over them, and you could like just see it. Like, for some reason, it's like everybody in the room could just see it. Like, these two are supposed to be together, but she's got a man, he's got a woman, and there's an ocean between. So it was almost like you can see who's compatible for marriage in the room, and it was almost like it felt like you knew who was going to get hitched next. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen, okay? It was very strange. So I'm getting a little bit off topic here, but one thing I will say is that sometimes when you're reading the book of Ruth and you're looking for a partner, God will bring somebody your way that may not necessarily be your Ruth, but shows you an example of what she's going to be like. So that woman may not necessarily be your wife or your husband, but God will reveal that person to you to show you, hey, these are the qualities that you're going to be looking for in a partner. Very strange to think about, but it was something that I noticed. So the woman that I met, she probably isn't going to be married to me, okay? I didn't really think that marriage is really going to be in my path, and it could be, I don't know. I could be writing a dating book with my future wife. I have no idea. But from what I've been through in my life, marriage is a very hard thing for me to stomach. And some things just tell me I'm going to be alone. Maybe it's because my name's Lone Wolf. Who knows? But it's one of those things, okay? But the one thing that it could be that I just crossed that woman's path just to make this video and write the dating book. That could be why God brought me in her path and we met and things were great. So we had no physical connection, nothing like that. She has a partner, I'm not making any advancements. And there's a lot of guys out here that even though a woman has a partner, he will make an advancement. I think that's not very smart. I think it's smart to focus on yourself and focus on your purpose and what you're doing and let somebody come to you. So if she's meant for you, she'll come to you. And I think that's also, with women on the other side, I think it's kind of the same way. where it's like if that dude's with somebody and he really wants you, then he'll probably end up dealing with what he has to deal with to get to you. Okay, if he picked up on the signal, so it could be that God does want me with that person. I don't know. I have no idea. So meanwhile, I'm just making chowder and enjoying wine, so I'm happy. So it's like, well, sorry, I'm mixing my roux here. Yeah, so I just mixed my roux, and this is looking pretty dang good right here. There's a nice clam chowder for you, for real. Woo! Baby, that looks good. I'm going to be tearing this up for like a week, man. It's going to be raining, so I'm going to be sitting out there in the freaking rain doing brake jobs, probably. So, what can I say, man? The betrayal and the dating book was the two things I was going to focus on with this video. So this could be a really long one. Y'all could get bored and click off of it. I don't care. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of it. I'm going to try and focus topics specifically the best I can, okay? But you're going to see through your walk, when you're walking with God, you're going to see that God will show you your mate right away, or he will bring somebody to you that has those qualities so you can recognize it when you see it. And I have no idea what just happened to me, to be honest. It could be something that's like, it could be something that's like, well, okay, you learned something. It could be that I passed a test too. So God could have tested me, and the devil could have tempted me. The devil tempting me, and then God testing me, saying, hey, are you going to hit on this woman? Are you going to, make an advancement toward this woman, even though she has children in her household and she has a person with her? They don't have rings on, but I personally don't know. I don't know if it was a test. I don't know what it was, but I'm just telling you, it'll come your way. God may test you with that type of person before he blesses you with the actual person. It could be. I don't really know. But what I am telling you is, if I was tested by God and I was tempted by the devil, that I passed the test and, well, I didn't fall into temptation. I treated her with respect and her boyfriend. Or whatever he was. I don't really know. Well, and the kids, too. I mean, you got to be a good man out here. That's how it is. A lot of people would say, don't be a good man. And it's like, well, if you're not a good man, you're not virtuous. You have to be a monster that is very controlled. So I could be a monster where I'm like, I'm going to sleep with your girlfriend and do all this and break your household into pieces, but I don't. Why? Well, because I value God first. So if you don't value God first, you got to be a good man, okay? Not being a good man in this world will take you down roads you do not want to be down, okay? You'll go down roads 20 years from now that you will beg God that you were not down them. It was your own foolish decisions that put you there. That's my rebuttal against people that just sleep around carelessly and kind of go for whatever's in front of them and sleep with whoever. Do I agree with that? Nah. It really hasn't been in my walk. I could have been that way, and I really just chose not to be because I just didn't. I have better stuff to do. Okay, like I have businesses to run. I have things to do. I had bigger goals than that. Okay, like people that want to sleep around do that. That's okay, I guess. I mean, it's not really. It's not really to say one way or the other, but I'm telling you that it just wasn't in my path. Well, it was. It was an opportunity that I pretty much turned down. I just wasn't interested in it. And people will look at you in certain ways like that and be like, oh, what's up with that, and I always have something to say, dog. For me, I don't really care, okay? It wasn't the path that I chose. There was opportunities for it that I didn't take, okay? There's my clam chowder, dog. That turned out really good. So we're going to try it out and see what's going on here, but let's try it out and see what we got. That's freaking good. That's good clam chowder for a rainy day, I'm telling you. So I don't really care. I'm going to eat this and probably just keep talking, but what can I say? As a synopsis to what I already just said, okay, a full circle and a full circle can come together where your full circle of positive divine judgment, you could be waiting for a full circle of positive divine judgment with somebody else in order to be blessed, okay? That can happen. Comes through the dating stuff I was talking about. God can reveal your spouse to you long before it even happens, or he will reveal the qualities of the person that you are looking for, or he revealed the person to you at one time that you will reconnect with at a later point when both parties are ready. Either way, stay in the Word of God. You figure out wisdom. You figure out what marriage means. That's important. So you don't want to go getting hitched to somebody that's obviously got the spirit of something else that you do not want in your life, because they will run through it and God will allow them to ruin your life. It's happened to me before where I met the wrong woman, settled down. I didn't understand that she really wasn't a very good person, and she screwed me over pretty bad. Okay. So once you meet somebody like that, where you're like, okay, this person's compatible, this and this, that, start testing their spirit. See how they are. Are they the type of person that would betray you in any given situation? Are they the type of person that would cling to their faith and deny the devil's temptation at all cost? That's an important thing to think about, okay? So, when you're dealing with people out here, okay, you also need to understand that you may think that God wants you to be with somebody that he actually doesn't, and it's just a test for you where you're starting to realize what he doesn't want you to be with. So you could have some adulterous woman that comes your way that you're in the book of Ruth, or that maybe you're not in the book of Ruth, and this adulterous woman that comes your way, or a Jezebel comes your way, or this could be the other way around, where I've seen male Jezebels where I'm like, y'all are weird, I don't understand you, bloodthirsty animals, I don't understand what's wrong with you. But you can see, sometimes God will show you what you're not supposed to have. And it could be that you've never come across that before. Like you've never been with somebody that's screwed you or betrayed you before, or has had the spirit of this, this, and this. And God's trying to show you this right here. Use your wisdom and discern if this is a smart decision. If you're like, oh, it's a smart decision, oh no, I'll get screwed over. And it's like, that was a test that was very big that you failed. So you have to understand, you need to learn how to discern the spirit of the person that's around you. Okay? If you can do that, you can master a whole lot. And you have to do that by getting wisdom and reading the entire Bible. Read the entire Bible all the way through, telling you will understand hedges, you will understand why Jesus' story was so important to humanity. You'll understand archetypes like the stick and the snake, the flood, and the mark of Cain. So until next time, I'm Wolf. Peace out, yo.